Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Do I have something exciting for you today? That's right, you see the box. It's gonna be my unboxing of my brand new Siser Romeo cutting machine, you guys. It was a great Black Friday sale and your girl just had to have it. Even though I love my Cricut Maker 3, just had to have the Lamborghini of cutting machines. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this bad baby cut open and see what she's all about. So exciting. Now I've seen many people using the Romeo on YouTube and it looks fairly simple to use, you guys. So that's why I thought, man, I need to have this. I need to have it, right? Couldn't pass it up. So it looks like it's laying sideways here. Let me take it out carefully because I don't want to damage anything here. All right, so we're just gonna move this outer box out of the way here. And let it fall to the floor. And look at that, you guys. There it is. This thing is so much bigger than what I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be able to put it on my beautiful purple stand over there that I have my Cricut Maker 3 sitting on. It's just way too wide. So it's going to have to sit on my craft table. And I'm going to have to maneuver it around from when I'm using it and not using it. Now, if you're here for the first time, welcome to my channel. Again, I'm Tracy with JDL Threads. If you are returning, hey y'all. And if you decided to subscribe to my channel, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it so very much. That you all decided to join in on my craft journey because I just love crafting. I'm a very crafty girl. Okay, so now let's continue to get on to opening up this box. Gotta find my scissors here. Here we go. They really got this thing taped down good, you guys. All right, but I think I got it here. Alright, and so once we first open up the box, they have these nice little inside little crates to help keep it from getting damaged here. So we're going to just go ahead and take those out. Put those to the side. Then we have your Welcome to the Future of Making box here. We have a cutting mat, a 12 by 12 inch cutting mat, a Siser cutting mat. Now you can go ahead and use this mat as well as any other mats that you might have, like your Cricut mats. Any of the mats will work just fine. We're going to rip off this here packaging and put that to the side. And we are going to pull this bad girl out the box. Now you gotta be very careful because like I said, she is really, really big. I don't want to drop it here. Throw that box to the floor and lay it down on the little feet. It is backwards. Let me just turn it around so you guys can see this. Isn't she a beauty, right? So we're going to go ahead and cut off this plastic coating that is wrapped in. And you know, you guys, it's just such a good thing that I made my craft table, right? I built it from 2 Home Depot cabinets, and then I put a big long piece of wood on the top for as wide as I wanted the table to be, because now I'm going to need all that extra space to sit this beautiful girl right on top, you guys. So we're going to just take that off. We're going to remove this little styrofoam pieces here. And there's one on the back on the lever. And look at that. Such a beauty. Let's go ahead and push this to the front, you guys, and we're going to go ahead and open up this box and see what's inside this box. Now you have your power cord. You have your blade and your carrier holder for your pen. If you want to do some inkwork design, you have some more of your, cutting blades in here. You have another piece for your power cord. And then you have your Romeo Siser instructions manual, guys. All right. So I'm so excited. I'm not going to take the time out to just go ahead and read this manual right now. We're going to go ahead and put that back in the box so we can keep all this stuff together. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and get it plugged up so we can see how this girl works. Let me just put all these boxes back in here. Did I tell you guys I'm so excited? I'm so excited. I'm just going to have to go ahead and see what I want to cut first. Okay, everybody, so I've gone ahead and I've taken off these little white plastic pieces off of the rollers here. Make sure you take off those before you turn on your machine. And then we're going to turn it on and get it started so we can get it connected to Wi-Fi. And I'm just going to bring you guys in a little bit closer here. You see where it says Romeo there? Beautiful. It's just beautiful. So here we have settings. We're going to go ahead and push the buttons for settings. We're going to hit Wi-Fi for Wi-Fi. Let's see. We're going to hit Bluetooth on my computer for new devices. And let's see if we can get it hooked up to Bluetooth, you guys. I don't see a network here, so what am I doing here? I'm going to scanning for Wi-Fi. Well, it wants me to do Wi-Fi, I guess. I'm not sure if I can do Bluetooth or not, but we'll go with Wi-Fi. We're going to go down and we're going to pick my Wi-Fi here. We're going to push apply. And then I'm going to just go ahead and put in my password. And it says that I am connected. And it says apply. I'm going to push apply one more time to get it connected to my network. All right, and so it says that I am connected to my network now. Now I just have to figure out what do I need to do to find the software. So give me a second, you guys, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, so I finally figured out how to set it up to Wi-Fi, the Romeo, or Romey as I'm going to call her. So I just went in here to settings. Went through the Wi-Fi settings to set that all up. Now I've selected Rhinestones and I've made my cut speed at a 13 and a force of 60 according to Angel B, and she said that was a good setting for Rhinestone Flock's test that she has. So I'm gonna go with her because I watch hers all the time and she's pretty awesome. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and load in the design that I got from Creative Fabrica, and we're gonna see how this cuts out. So we're gonna go on over here to my computer and check it out. Okay, so if you guys can see now, we're over here to my computer, and I'm just going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Import, and I'm going to go to hit my computer settings over here, and I'm going to go to Rhinestones, and I'm going to click on that twice, and let's see, the name of my file that I want to cut is Black Girl Blue, which is the file I got from Creative Fabrica, which is this lady here. Now I'm going to do cut only, and I'm going to go next. And I'm going to go to, I only have one layer in here, so I'm going to go to apply. Now she's about make sure that your cut file is the correct file height and width before you start anything, because you want to make sure that those numbers are correct and that it came in correctly. So I checked that and it was 8.328 by 11.697. Now I'm just going to click on the design and I'm going to move it over on the mat just a little bit, but not all the way to the edge of the mat, because I don't want any missing flock dots. Okay, so I'm going to put it up a little bit, and as you see, I'm using the 12 by 12 mat. I'm just going to use one of my Cricut mats, and we have it all inside the mat there. Lips are in, and the top of her hair are in, and the sides, the left side is in the mat, so we don't want no dots to cut out incorrectly. All right, so we're going to push Send Design, and I'm going to push all artworks that fits, and I'm going to use it on the mat, and I'm going to push send. Now over here, I'm going to push that I'm using the cutting mat. I'm going to make sure here it says 12 by 12 mat here. Use cutter settings. I'm going to push Siser blade. And I'm going to do a test cut. Okay. So first I'm going to get my flop cut here. All right, and so I'm going to just set it up on my mat. And we're going to put it all the way to the left side of our cutting mat. Because remember, Romeo, or Romey as I'm going to call her, she cuts from the bottom going back this way, whereas Cricket cuts from the top cutting down this way. So we got it loaded in on our mat, and I'm just going to lift down the tab and push my mat in, and let me bring it in a little bit closer here. So I'm going to slide my mat in from the front. You can slide from front to back. It don't matter. Just make sure that you're lining your mat up here with these arrows. The edge of your mat is on that cut line for your mat, and make sure that your blade is going to be in the corner. We're going to pull up the lever so that we can let down our wheels. Now I'm going to come over here to my rhinestone panel, and I'm going to just push my arrow, left arrow, so that my blade is all the way down on my mat. Okay. And then in my computer, I'm going to push this little t-shirt here. Going to push the little t-shirt here so I can do a test cut. And remember, my blade is all the way down at the bottom of my mat. So it's going to be here on the left side of my girl's face. I hope you guys can see my arrow moving here. So we're going to do a little test cut. I'm going to push test cut, which is the little t-shirt. Now let me bring you back over to the cutter. And as you can see here, the blade is right on the bottom part of my flock. I'm going to push t-shirt for test cutter. My computer says send test cut to cutter, and it says ensure the machine is ready, and so it is. And I'm going to push yes. And we're going to send to cutter. And it looks like, guys, I don't know what happened there, but it looks like it's just cutting out the flock dots. So we're going to go with that. And we're going to see how long it takes this to cut out. It's right now currently 2:15. And we're going to see how long it takes out at a speed of 13 and a force of 60. Okay, everybody, the design took about 20 minutes to cut out all the flock dots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over here to the Romeo panel, and I'm going to go ahead and eject my mat out. Or I really could just push down the lever and just take it out, you guys. I could do that also as well. And then I'm going to just pull it back up to let those wheels back down. All right, and here is the moment of truth. We are going to see how good did these dots cut out with a force of 13, or excuse me, a speed of 13 and a force of 60. So we're going to check it out. All right, so we're just going to slowly start. Let me just turn that down a little bit so you can see the whole mat. Lifting it up. And I did end up figuring out my test cut later on after I cut everything out. But here's what my cut is looking like. Peeling it back. Real nice. And so far, you guys, I don't have any of those dots. Well, looks like I have a few dots getting left behind over there. So maybe I'll have to put my pressure a little bit higher, but for the most part, all of my dots are coming out really nice, with the exception of some of the dots over here on the right side. That's okay. For our first cut, we did have a few other dots to get left behind, so that's what the mat looks like there. And I did have some of the dots get left behind, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to, on this side of the mat, press down my flock back on there. To get those out. And those came out fairly easy, the extra dots that were left behind. Looks like I got one stubborn one there. But we got him out. So it's just one stubborn one here, and we're going to pick that one out. All right, let me just look at the template one more time, you guys. Looks like I still have 3 more that I need to get out up here at the top. Okay. So that looks like I got them all. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just lay it on my Dollar Tree cutting mat here. Okay. So you guys can see how it cut out. And it did cut out pretty awesome, I think. All right. For the most part, it cut out all the dots. Now, what I will say is I needed to just push it down a little bit more down this way. Here, I needed to get those lips a little bit further down because if you look at the top of the design, you see some of those dots got cut off at the top, but that's fine. We can still go ahead and just put those in. If you look at my mat here, so I got to just get used to cutting how I cut on this mat and the software versus on the Cricut mat. It just shows me where everything is lined up, but I just got to make sure that I bring my needle down a little bit lower, all the way down lower to this mat so that it won't cut off those few dots at the top there. But overall, like I said, we can still go ahead and lay those in. Overall, everything cut out really, really good. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and get some rhinestones laid in so we can go ahead and get it pressed out and see how this design comes out. Okay, everybody, so we are back over at the craft table and we are going to go ahead and proceed to putting the rhinestones into the design that we cut out on the Romey. Okay, and so what I want you guys to notice is that when I had my cutting mat, I didn't, I made sure that the sides was lined all the way up, but I didn't push my flock all the way to the top of the cutting mat, and that's why the top of my design here, it got a little bit cut off. So I just marked out these purple lines here. My bad. Mark those out where I am not going to use this line here, this purple line. And so I went back into Silhouette Studio. I love Silhouette Studio because my friend Melissa over at TaylorMade Designs LLC, she gives very good tutorials on how to do rhinestones and how to go in and correct your rhinestones if you have overlapping rhinestones, or if you need to check your size and all that. So what I did was I went back in and I just deleted all of this part of the design and I just redid this top part of the design where I didn't get it on the first run. So I'm going to fill in all of the rhinestones here, and then I'm just going to do a separate piece up here for the top of her hair where we can go ahead and get the top of her hair filled in. Okay, so gotta remember, don't make that mistake again. Make sure I have my flock lined up to the left and all the way to the top. So I'm gonna make this beautiful girl purple, and I'm gonna use this purple shirt here, this Gildan extra large purple shirt, because you guys know purple is my favorite color. We're gonna put purple on here and we're just gonna go ahead and blink it out. So let's get started, everybody. I'm gonna use this color that I got from the Rhinestone World called Tanzanite, and we're gonna go ahead and put our rhinestones in so that we can go ahead and get this shirt blinged out. All right, so I'm just pretty much gonna just take my brush here and I'm gonna brush in all the stones, and she's gonna pretty much be purple everywhere except her eyes are gonna be a different color and her lips are gonna be a different color. But overall, She's going to be a light purple to contrast on the dark purple shirt that I have. Because you guys already know, love purple. Love purple, love any shade of purple. So we're going to put a few more of those in there. And we are just going to get it all filled in. Going to go in a circular motion, and then any of the rhinestones that don't catch, I'm just going to go ahead and use my wax pen here, my lovely wax pen, and we're going to go ahead and get those pushed in. I'm just trying to avoid this line here because I made another line there to fill it in, and once we press it, we're just going to press in that top portion of our little hair separate so we can get the full design like how the template was made. Okay, and when you guys make mistakes, don't get discouraged. For every mistake, there's a solution. Just figure out what you need to do, guys. And there's one on her eyebrow there. I don't want that one to be purple, so I'm just going to use my wax pen to get that one out. And we're just going to keep on rubbing them in until we get all these holes filled up. Alright guys, so it looks like I've gotten in most of the rhinestones. Let me see if I just can get a few more up here. I hope I have enough for the whole project. If not, we can make her have streaks in her hair, no problem. But I think that I have enough. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the rest of these holes off camera. And I'm going to fill those in with my wax pen. And then I'll be back to show you guys what it looks like. And I'm going to fill in her eyebrows are going to be black. And I think I want to make her eyes white and her lips will be red. So once I get done putting everything in, I'll be back to show you guys what that looks like. Okay everybody, so I'm back, and as you can see, I did run out of my Tanzanite, the light purple rhinestones, but again, I just am almost finished with this process of just putting in her highlights or streaks or whatever you would like to call them, because I didn't have enough of the light purple, which is fine. Remember guys, don't sweat the small stuff. It's just a design however you see it to be. So whether you wanted to use different rhinestone colors that maybe had all the same colors in her hair, or you just wanted to pivot and change it up. All craft rules, or I should say some craft rules, are meant to be broken. You don't have to follow everything in stone. Everything is not set in stone, so it's really all about whatever you guys like, right? And in this instance, I just chose to give her highlights because it still looks fine to me. Okay, when you're just filling them in, just like you would do with your brush, just make sure you get all the circles filled in. Make sure they're all right side up, and make sure you don't have any stones sitting on top of each other. Okay, so it looks like this is my last stone here. I'm just going to give it a once over one more time. And remember, I left this line out here because these are going to come down and take its place. All right, so I think that's my last one there. All right, so that looks good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my KTM mask, And I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to pick up all this part of her hair from her eyes to her lips on one piece of mask. And then I'm just going to put this piece up here, the part that I had to redo, on a separate piece of mask so I can press that separate. So again, we're just going to take our KTM mask and we're going to lay it down just like a taco. And just so I can try to make sure that I don't get these up here, guys, I'm going to turn it sideways. And I think I'm just going to grab that side first to make sure that I don't get any of those other stones down on the bottom. So I'm just going to press these real good here. And we're going to lift up our mask to make sure we get every rhinestone lifted. And looks like one guy is trying to be stubborn and get left behind, so we'll just press it a little bit. Press him a little bit more to get him out of there. Okay, come on. Don't be stubborn. Oh, he's really being stubborn, you guys. Okay, that's okay. We'll just go ahead and lift this up off my table. And we'll just hand put it back in there with my wax pencil. Just gonna grab him, turn him upside down. Then we're just gonna place him right back in there like that. All right, and then we're just going to take our backing and we're just going to lay it right on top until we get ready to press. And there is the top portion of our hair with our highlights, because we did give her a few up there as well. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to lift the rest of the design. Again, you're going to take your KTM mask and you're going to fold it in half like a taco, and then you're just going to lay it down and try to catch all your rhinestones like so. Ooh, and I didn't do a good job getting all of my lips down there, you guys. What is going on with me today? So that's fine. I'll just lift that on the next go round and put that down once I get all the stones pressed onto the shirt. Not a big deal. Okay. So we're going to lift up all these now and make sure we try to get all our stones lifted. And maybe after I use this sheet for this design, you guys, I will just go ahead and throw this one out in the trash and I'll get me a new one, a new piece that's a little bit more stickier all over. Let me get my little squeegee and rub it over it. See if that won't help. Okay, everybody, so we are on take 2. As you saw in take 1, my KTMS was not trying to cooperate. It said, hey, you have used me too many times, and it was not picking up a lot of my rhinestones. So what I had to do, these are some of the things that happened to me behind the scenes. Now, maybe they don't happen to a lot of you, but I'm just going to be totally honest. These are some of the things that happened to me. So I scraped them all off of the old piece of KTMS, and I just threw that one out, and now we have a new piece, you guys. So we are going to lift these off with our new piece of KTMS, and this time we are going to make sure we get both sets of those lips. Yeah, because that piece had said it had just had enough. And this one is really, really sticky. When it's new, it's like really, really sticky. So you can just tap it on like your shirt a few times to make it a little less sticky. So all I'm going to do is lay it on my shirt and make it a little bit less sticky. Alright, and so we're going to try this again. You see it's so sticky, it's sticking to my hands, you guys. We're going to fold it in that shape of a taco. Let me turn the design this way. We're going to fold it in that shape of a taco. And then all we're going to do is we're going to lay down our mask and catch all of our rhinestones. You see my little U there? Just going to lay it down and let it catch all of my stones. And then we're just going to rub. And I should be good this time because this is a brand new piece, you guys. So they should all come up really, really nice. Let me just give it a good rub there. All right. Then we're just going to go ahead to lifting it off. I'm just going to turn my mat back this way because it's just easier for me to do it this way. And we're just going to lift them right off. And look at that. We still got one little stubborn one. All right, I will get him in a minute. All right, let's just continue to lift the rest real slow. And you see how, well, most of them should be coming off. But we still have a few stragglers left behind here. So we're going to press it one more time. I'm going to rub it one more time, you guys. See if we can't get all these. Looks like one is upside down there. Looks like I got one sitting on top of the other one. That's what that is. That's why I won't pick that one up. Alright, let me just get that one. See if I can't pick that one off with my tweezers. Okay, got that one. All we're going to keep doing is just pressing them down until we get them all off the sheet. And looks like we got them all now, except for that one little red guy down there. But we're going to go ahead and just put him back on with the tweezers. Okay, so I'm going to lay it flat over like this, and make sure you guys don't get it stuck on itself with that sticky side. Okay, I'm just going to grab my little red one out here with my tweezers, or let me see, I'm just going to pop it out. Let me just move that guy out the way. Okay, we're going to just flip him over. Then I'm just going to pick it up and just put it back in there, right on the spot where that lip goes. Right there. Okay, and that looks good. All right, so now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my backing from my new piece of KTM mask, the white backing, and I'm just going to stick it on there like so. So we can hold all my rhinestones in place until we get ready for press. And so there you have it. You have my girl with her lips and her eyes. And then you also have the top portion of her hair that's going to go up there like that. Yeah, so we're just going to press it in 2 pieces. All right, and it's gonna be fabulous. All right, so you guys can head on over to the heat press with me. My heat press has warmed up to 350 degrees, and we're gonna go ahead and get this pressed out. Okay, everybody, so we are over at the heat press, and we are going to go ahead and get this design pressed onto our Gildan extra large shirt. So we're going to just pull our platen out. We're going to put our shirt up there like so. We are going to lint roll to get off any extra debris. And then I'm going to go ahead and just push my platen back in and press my shirt for about 5 seconds to get out some moisture so we can get a nice good press to have our rhinestones attached to our shirt. So we're going to just let that up. Alright, I'm going to pull out my platen. I'm going to fold my shirt in half so that I can find my center. And then we're just going to give it a press so I can find the crease, you guys. And I don't know why, but I've got this ugly little string here that's hanging, that's bugging me. So we're going to cut that off. There you go. Alright, so I'm going to push back in my platen and give my shirt a nice press. Okay, so I'm just going to open up my shirt. Now I have my nice crease in there. And I'm going to take my design. The first part of my design, because remember you guys, I had to do it in 2 pieces because I accidentally chopped the first part of her hair off, but we won't make that mistake again. So we're gonna take my first part of my design here, the lady and her eyes and her lips, and I'm just gonna lift it, the KTM mask off of the back sheet. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start marking how many times I use each piece of KTM mask so I can know when it's about time to get a new piece, you guys. So we won't run into that problem that I had earlier of having too many of my designs stick to the mask and not enough lifting off. Getting ready for preparations to get this design on the shirt. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to look to find where my center is going to be on the design, and I'm just going to put a little center in the mask like so. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a crease right there. All right, and then I'm just going to line it up on the crease of my shirt here, and I think that's good. I think I like that spot, and that looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and push back in my platen, and I'm going to go ahead and give that a nice press. And I got some extra little glue spots down here, so I'm going to get those off before I press, because those probably were on there when I had to redo my whole design on my new piece of KTM mask. So I'm going to go ahead and press now for 10 seconds, you guys. Alright, so I'm going to pull my platen out, and I'm going to just lift my KTM mask up off of my shirt. And why does it look like some of my little speckles don't have any glue? Let's see where those are. Okay, some of my little speckles don't have any glue on the back, you guys. So looks like when I was lifting them off, some of my little dots did not get any glue on the back of my stones. As you can see, I have so many stones still left on here from when I lifted it off, but that's cool. We're going to go ahead and get that fixed as well. Let me go ahead, and I'm going to get my parchment paper, and I'm still going to go ahead and press it down. So we can get all these stones to stick, you guys. Remember, don't stress out. We're just going to pivot and do the next thing that we need to do, everybody. That's it. So we're going to give those a good press. I'm going to look at my sheet to see where I need to put all these other stones as a reference. I'm going to do that offline, you guys, and I'm going to be back to show you how I fill those in, okay? All right. Okay, let me show you guys how I'm going to do this. So all I did was I took my mask and I laid it back on my shirt, and I lined up my lips here, laid them back on top of my rhinestones so that I can fill in all the holes where the rhinestones lifted up off of my shirt. And so I'm just going to gently lift it up and start replacing those stones inside the empty holes where they did not get the glue last time, from where I peeled them all the way back off when my KTM mask the first time was not very sticky. So here we go. We just put our mask, lined it back up with our lips. As you see, all the others are still stuck, but the ones that didn't stick will lift off. I found some extra rhinestones that were similar in color, and I'm just going to fill those in. And then once I fill those in, I'm going to take this KTM mask off. I'm going to scrape off all the leftover rhinestones from the first press. I'm going to put the KTM mask back on the shirt to pick up the other rhinestones. And then we're just going to press it again. I know, you guys, a lot. It just seems like a lot. So we know next time, make sure that KTM mask is sticky enough to pick up all those rhinestones, and we don't have to do no scraping. Hey, but lesson learned. So again, I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to go ahead and get those filled in. I'll come back to show you what it looks like once I get them back on the sheet and get them ready for press, and we'll go from there. All right, everybody, and I am back. Now, ultimately, you don't want to make like a big mistake like this, but you guys, I am willing to show you my mistakes, and we're going to show you how we fixed it. So if you look at my KTM mask, you can kind of see, if you look real close, like here, where I scraped off the other rhinestones. Yeah, I just scraped them all off. So all we're going to do is I'm going to just lay this piece back on top of the lips at the bottom, and it really doesn't matter because all the other ones are stuck, and we're just trying to stick now the ones that we replaced that didn't lift off the first time. So we're just going to put our mask back down on our shirt. We're going to rub it in place, and we are going to go back over to the heat press and get this thing pressed out. So head on back over. All right, so now we're back over at the heat press. I'm just gonna lay this shirt right on back up here. On top of the press, you see that same piece of mask that we used before. I'm gonna push in my platen, and I'm gonna give it a good press for 10 seconds, you guys. Remember, do not panic. There is usually, most times, a solution. Sometimes there may be not, but you just go with the flow and figure things out. All right, you guys. So I'm going to pull it back out now, and we're going to show you how all these diamonds just fit back into place. And look at that. They all peeled off. There's my KTM mask. You can see all of the diamonds lift off again. That's great. So we're going to take this piece and we're going to go ahead and stick it to the back. Of our white carrier sheet, so that we can keep a nice sticky surface on that. Like so. All right. And then all we're going to do is we are going to see how to take this last piece. Remember that piece that I cut off before? We're going to see how to put that on our shirt for a top of our girl's hair. So I'm just going to lift that off and see where that hair might go. That's it, you guys. I'm going to just turn it to me a little bit. See where I can figure it out. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Looks like I might have 2 extras in here, or just maybe 1. So let me get that one off. 1 little extra stone, because we don't want them sitting on top of each other. Make sure they're all flat. All right, and then I'm just going to push it back in. I'm going to cover it up one more time with my parchment paper, push my platen back in, and we're going to give it a final press, you guys. All right, I'm going to take my parchment paper off. I'm going to pull out my platen. I'm going to remove my mask, and voila. Look at that, you guys. Everything came out just perfect. Do you see that? Let's start down here with those lips. Everything came out just really, really nice. And I'm going to go all the way down to show you guys. We even got the little piece up there up in top where we missed some stones. And everything looks just fabulous, if I must say so myself. Alright, so there's our shirt, you guys. And let me just turn it around and hold it up so you guys can see what it looks like. Look at our girl. Isn't she spectacular? She's just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing, you guys. So remember, keep enjoying your crafts. Don't worry if you make a mistake. Just try to pivot and figure that mistake out. Keep doing what you're doing, loving what you do, and having fun with what you do. And remember, guys, again, this is Tracy with JDL Threads. I want to thank you all for watching my videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.